Welcome to TikTok Shop Insiders Podcast, your source for actionable news, trends, and strategies. If you want to build a thriving brand or creator presence on TikTok Shop, this is your essential listen. Let's get started.
All right. Welcome to TikTok Shop Insiders Podcast, your source for the latest news and strategies for TikTok Shop. I am your host, Ivan. We have my good buddy, Pat, here. What's up, Pat? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, Ivan. We got back from Yosemite not too long ago. I'm back from the wilderness. It was amazing. I didn't make any TikTok videos because I didn't have any reception out there, but there was plenty of use cases. It was funny. One brand that we were working with has a water purifier. I was like, oh, this would be perfect. And you fill your water in the creek because you run out of water and hiking. And so I was constantly thinking about TikTok video content even on vacation, which is crazy. But yeah.
Oh, did your wife make any videos?
I think she made it in the car on the way because she had samples that she had received. Yeah. And so she was like, oh, shoot, I got to get these out. These are due in a couple of days.
Right.
She was literally doing voiceover recordings in the passenger seat on the ride.
Right. So, there's time to kill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about the trip?
It's got to be biking around. Just when you go there, it's unreal. The scenery is unreal. When you watch videos and see pictures, it doesn't do it justice. The scale of everything. It's awesome. So if you haven't been, if you're into outdoors, into camping, definitely visit Yosemite if you're in the California area. Highly recommend it. It's tough to get reservations though. But yeah, if you get a chance, do it. Well, I'm gonna get you there. I'm gonna get you camping one of these days.
We'll work on a glamping first.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll work. On my side, super busy day. We're traveling to Europe today, actually. So we have a red eye from LAX today. We are 90% done with packing, kind of have the remainder to go. We're kind of finalizing things, but yeah, pretty excited about this trip. Traveling with 3 kids is a journey of itself, so hopefully wish me luck on that one. But yeah,
having the youngest one, is she's not obviously not potty trained yet, right? So you're gonna change her diaper in that tiny.
That's fine. I'd rather change diapers than go to the bathroom with her every 5 minutes or trying to figure out if they need to go to the bathroom, right? So, but yeah, around the corner. London, Bordeaux, Barcelona, and then Paris. And then the Olympics are around the corner, so it's going to be hustle and bustle during that.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I don't know if you're going to be there for all the pre-Olympic stuff, right? At the same time.
Well, the opening ceremony is a week after we're there, so not quite super duper busy, but still probably in the mix. A lot of the landmarks are kind of closed off or fenced off, which we need to navigate around. And then our Airbnb is in this gray zone or red zone where you need a QR code to enter, which is kind of cool and weird and unique. I guess we could say we're in Paris for the Olympics, and I know my kids are gonna be super involved, or at least I am, when the Olympics come around, this year's Olympics. We were there, we saw that. We thought we were actually at that court or whatever. Because I think volleyball or some sport's going to be at the Eiffel Tower, played at the Eiffel Tower. So that's going to be super sweet. Hey.
Yeah, we see that. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well,
we're leaving there. We're leaving today.
Good luck. How long's the flight over there? It's going to be
3 hours to LA, 10 hours to London. We're flying into London. So it's a red eye, so the thought is they sleep at night, and
fingers crossed. Yeah,
so it can be really, really easy or really, really nightmarish. So hopefully
you got it. You guys got it. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, thanks. I got it. All right. Up next, we have news. Latest news. Pat, go ahead, take it away. What we got going on in TikTok Shop?
Yeah, TikTok had announced kind of in mid-June. So we're a little late in reporting it, but they had announced the launch of their. They have a whole suite called the TikTok Symphony Creative AI Suite. We'll have a link to the article about it, but basically they have their own suite of AI tools, whether it's script creation or video content ideas, things like that. The latest news with them is their launch of the Symphony digital avatars. Essentially, these are AI generated digital influencers. Basically, they're based on paid actors. They have 2 types. One is a stock avatar, which is a whole slew of pre-built avatars that they use using paid actors and are licensed for commercial use. They come in, different genders, different ethnicities, etc. Basically, the idea is to have these tools for people to scale their content quickly.
So just a quick background here for those that are unaware. So it's AI, and it's AI video content, right? So you have an avatar of like an image of a person, but AI will go ahead and kind of maneuver that person, his or her lips and voice to mimic a real person. And it looks like 99.9% real. As if if I wasn't told that this was an AI generated video, I wouldn't know. So you can create a script, make it as long as short as you want, include whatever word you want, and the avatar will say it and have hand gestures and have inflections in their eyes and face. So it makes it look extremely real, right? So
it's really impressive. Yeah. I mean, I watched the promotion video that they sent out, and if I had not been told, like originally I didn't realize what I was watching until the literal creator, the AI generated creator says, I'm AI generated. I was like, oh, I would have had no idea. So if you don't see it, or you're not paying attention to it, you wouldn't even notice. TikTok is like labeling any AI generated videos with, this is AI generated, so people know watching the video. The other piece, other than stock avatars, is you can do custom avatars. So you can create, avatars based in the likeness of like a spokesperson for a brand or whatever. One example was like this Vietnamese airline called Vietjet. They were one of the first brands to test their custom avatars, and they created a custom avatar that was like of their brand ambassador. Created a multilingual campaign too, so you can translate. You can have your AI avatar speak in different languages for different different marketplaces, which is crazy to think about. The scale and the possibilities that you can do with this tool.
Yeah, both super awesome in my eyes, but also super scary. Like whatever they scary, right? So yeah, I'm excited to see. I guess looking back, it's similar to like the internet back in the days, right? Like you have this world at your fingertips. You can have all types of information coming in, and it could go from super scary to super tame and informational and stuff. But kind of new technology that is around the corner. You're not hiding from it. It's not going away.
Yeah,
so embrace it.
I had just seen a video from Gary Vee talking about this too, and he was just talking about it's the future, like it's coming because brands don't want to pay a creator anymore to like promote their brand, right? And that creator turns around 6 months later once their exclusivity agreement expires, and they promote one of their competitors, right? So they'll turn into AI generated influencers to create videos for them.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see. But all right. Up next in the episode, we have strategies, right? And here it's not necessarily a strategy, but I wanted to kind of educate you guys a little bit on kind of, being on this podcast has provided a lot of really, really, really cool, awesome things, great feedback. One of the things I value the most is connecting with like a ton of people, all different types of sellers on TikTok Shop, right? And so I wanted to go over kind of the different ways that people sell on TikTok Shop, or the different characteristics of sellers, right? There are four main ones. One is like the drop shipper, retail arbitrage, right? They buy from somewhere else. It's not their own product, not their own brand, and then they sell it on TikTok Shop. The other is like counterfeit, or like nefarious characters that are kind of just trying to scam and kind of weasel their way, and not lawful type activity. The third one is brand, like kind of like your traditional, right? So like big brands that you see in Target, and they're selling on TikTok Shop, and that's kind of like the more normal. And then the last one is like similar to brand, but private label, right? So you create your own product from scratch, your own brand from scratch, and then sell it on TikTok Shop. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of dive into that. A little fun fact: Pat and I had our own private label brand on Amazon. Long ago, was it like 8 years ago now? Where we sold a. I'll let you talk about it a little bit, Pat. Like, we created a brand together for you to learn the Amazon space.
I mean, I was seeing what you were doing on Amazon with your seat cushions and your hair. I forget what else you're selling, like
back braces.
Yeah, back braces. That's what it was.
Orthopedic stuff.
Yeah, and then so that was I knew the advertising space around online marketing, but Amazon was kind of like blowing up at the moment, so I wanted to learn more about it and saw what you were doing. So we teamed up and did a toiletry bag. You kind of took me through the process of, one, you introduced me to a podcast. I forget, Scott Volkler was the big
the Amazon seller, amazing seller, the amazing seller.
Yeah, told me to listen to that, so I was kind of like, consuming all that information, and we started looking for product niches on Alibaba to find a product, and then we did product research on Amazon to figure out what product would work, something that I might be interested in, plus something that has legs, right, on Amazon.
Right.
We sourced it from China. We did the whole thing of designing the product, sending it to China, getting samples back, and then making changes, all that stuff.
Yeah,
which was a great experience to learn all of the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all in the effort for you to learn the Amazon space, right? How to create a product, get it on there without any hiccups, and then launch it, and then PPC, right? And then rank over time. So we'll go into a little bit more about that, the private label space later. But I wanted to start off with drop shipping, right? And retail arbitrage. So this type of TikTok shops, let me just describe the process, right? So you have someone who wants to sell on TikTok shop. They see a product that they want to sell, and it's typically on, Amazon or a third party manufacturer, right? So typically in China. And what they'll do is they'll kind of take that list of products, copy the images, post on TikTok shop as if it was their own brand, and kind of sell it on TikTok shop, right? And so what happens here is let's take an example like a face cream. They see it on sale on Amazon, but they noticed, hey, that face cream isn't on sale on TikTok shop. Let me put it on TikTok shop and get that kind of halo effect sales. And so, they have the pent up demand. That brand isn't on TikTok shop. So this seller is taking advantage of that, right? So it's like now there's kind of third party arbitrage that product onto TikTok shop, right? So they will have, their risk is they're buying a handful of inventory from that original brand through Amazon or whatever channel. And then now they seed and give those samples out of that product to these affiliates and then try to grow that way, right? And so as that, does this TikTok shop thing, you'll start to get sales. And what they do now is that they fulfill it from the Amazon channel, right? So they'll, what they do is they buy it on Amazon for, $10, they'll sell it on TikTok shop for $30, and then they'll get the difference. So this is kind of like the drop ship method that people do on TikTok shop. So it's not.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like the easiest, lowest barrier to entry to get selling in TikTok shop.
Get sales right away, right? So for instance, like today, I can go find a product on Amazon that's not on TikTok shop, mark it up 100, 200%, get some sales velocity behind it, even create my own videos and sell it. And then, if I buy it for 10, sell it for 30, I, get that margin, right? And there's nothing stopping me. So that's, pro is they can get started today. The con is that, it's not your product, right? Fulfillment issues. What happens if it's out of stock on Amazon? You get a sale on TikTok shop. Now you can't fulfill. Then you get product, then you get violation points against you. Also like quality issues, right? So another way is like third-party sellers from China, like you can have them ship the product to the customer, but what happens is the quality is super low, right? It's like falling apart, or XYZ. You don't have a chance to like look at what the product is. So, at the end of the day, like this is a great start, I guess, for those that aren't able to like have their own brand or have pay for product. Way to get kind of inflow of money quickly, but worst case scenario is that your seller account can get banned. Right? You get a lot of violations and now you're in bad shape with TikTok shop and then you're starting from scratch. So short-term strategy for sure, but definitely something that people are doing out there and making a lot of money. So,
I mean, where do people go to find out more information about dropship? Like if they want to go into like a community of figure out what products to sell, right?
Yeah. So I like Discord. I find there's a lot of Discord and YouTube channels. I think there's a guy called his name is Brian Guerrera on YouTube. He has a lot of really good TikTok shop, arbitrage, Amazon content. So I'd follow him. Also Discords. If you have questions on kind of interested and wanting to learn, just kind of join our Slack group and ask there, or kind of we have some contact information in the show notes. So go ahead and ask us there. But yeah, I would say, YouTube is the first place I go, or even TikTok, right? Like dropship, TikTok shop, some keywords.
Yeah.
The next kind of profile of TikTok shop seller is the counterfeit, right? And so There's an example that we talked about in like episode 3 or 4. It's the Lenovo headset.
A little ball, right?
Lenovo, yeah. So it's a wireless headset, Bluetooth headset. And Pat and I saw this top 2 seller a couple months ago. And like, hey, this is a cool product. We dove into it a little bit more, looked it up, like the model number on the Lenovo site. We couldn't find it anywhere on Lenovo or on Amazon Lenovo. And so like eventually came to the conclusion that like this seller is selling a counterfeit product. This is not sanctioned by Lenovo, or if it is, it's not like widely known. And then similarly, like we go on Reddit groups and they're saying like, does this headset give you a headache when you wear it? So it kind of screams counterfeit. Anyway, all this kind of, so essentially what they did as a seller is like, okay, Lenovo's not on TikTok Shop. Let me make my own product, brand it Lenovo, sell it as Lenovo. And, that carries the weight of the name Lenovo, right? So, all in all, like I looked at Shop Plus recently, or just right now, they've sold 2.24 million to date of this headset. It's a $29 product. And I think, I looked it up on Alibaba. You can buy it for like $5. So like, and it's still selling right now. Not to the clip that it was before. So I don't know why, but yeah. So this is a counterfeiter, right? They're counterfeiting the Lenovo name or the products. And yeah. So that's kind of crazy. If you want to break the law and, make some money that way, that's the way to doing it. But yeah. I guess I should also say like allegedly, like I don't know. We don't know if this is Lenovo or not. It's just very funny that it's Lenovo. Another type of counterfeiter, right? So we work with a brand and top 25 seller. They're kicking butt on TikTok Shop. Millions in dollars of sales on TikTok Shop, right? They also have an Amazon store, and on that Amazon store, their listing got taken down by, coincidentally or a counterfeit claim by another seller, right? And so, their real listing got taken down, and now these counterfeits are kind of running amok on Amazon. And, what happens here is that when that original listing is taken down on Amazon, it's not clear anymore what product is the authentic product on Amazon, right? And so you have all these counterfeiters that are masking themselves to be the brand, and they're undercutting the price, right? Where it was selling at $50, now it's selling at $20. And so what happens now, which is terrible, is that they see the TikTok video, they're interested, they go on Amazon to see reviews and kind of do your normal shopping. If they see it's cheaper on Amazon, they're going to buy it on Amazon, right? But what that does is it takes away the sales signals and the sales velocity that would normally happen on TikTok Shop, right? And so all those sales that were going to happen on TikTok Shop, it doesn't give TikTok the signals to show those videos, and then it kind of, performance dies down. All because they saw it on Amazon, what they thought was the original product, and then, they bought there, which kind of deflates that flywheel.
It's because people don't pay attention to like who the actual seller is, right? They're just seeing the product, the price, and whoever. They don't pay attention who the seller is in the buy box when you actually add to cart who you're buying from in Amazon.
Right.
They don't make it clear. Probably
and like there are literally dozens of counterfeit TikTok Shop listings of this product, and there are dozens of Amazon listings of this product, like dozens, like every week. Kind of get them taken down, then they come back up, right? Because it's a top product, and the demand is there from all the viral videos, and now they're capitalizing on that demand. So another example of like a counterfeit, kind of nefarious character on TikTok Shop.
Yeah, is there any recourse, I guess, that brands can do as far as like combating it? I mean,
yeah. So it's just, IP violations, right? Showing that, you're the trademark owner and, filing claims within TikTok. TikTok's pretty good about it, taking them down pretty smoothly. And then also Amazon has a kind of IP violation portal. But at the end of the day, like, there's not a lot of policing that happens from starting your own seller account and then starting your own product listing. Or, I mean, they're getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but it's still like, where there's a will, there's a way. If someone's going to make, a couple $100 just by making a couple accounts and putting up a fake listing, like someone's going to do it, which is sad, but, hopefully, there's a way around it, a way to police it in the future. Because this is a problem, right? Because what happens is like now someone buys it, they buy the fake thing. It's not as good ingredients. It makes you itch or, puts you in the ER. Yeah. It's like horrible, right? So this is big issue.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok Shop has definitely got to do their best to combat it because they want to stay a trusted marketplace. So it's in their best interest. So I'm sure, I mean, that's why we're seeing people have a harder time just signing up for seller accounts and all that stuff that we're seeing with like new brands that we're signing on, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, TikTok's doing their part and kind of restricting the signups and product listings, but making our life harder because we have to kind of get around all those, those gates. But I think it's all for the better, right? To make TikTok Shop a more trusted platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Up next is, your traditional way of selling or kind of maybe what you're used to, right? So like brand name, right? So you have big brands that you see in Target, Walmart, etc., and maybe even Amazon, like recognizable names, owned by P&G, what else? Owned by Johnson & Johnson, big name brands on TikTok Shop, and they're doing their thing, right? And so this doesn't need much explaining, but, a lot of places where these people live is, on LinkedIn, right? They're these CMOs, digital marketing directors are all trying to grow their brand. TikTok's a new channel, so they're trying to expand there. So, some of the killers in the space are Tarte. What are some other notable ones that you've kind of...
I just saw CosRx just launched their TikTok channel too. They've been selling through third-party retailer, like a third-party retailer was selling their products on their behalf before.
Yeah.
While the brand itself is signed on and opened their own TikTok shop.
Yeah. I know Ordinary. The Ordinary has been killing it. What else? But this is all to say but at the same time, if I'm looking at the top 20, products this week, and the majority of them I haven't really heard of. Mm-hmm. And my point here is that okay, we have the big brands, but also there's small brands in there, right? Some that I haven't heard of that are making millions of dollars a week that are making a name for themselves on TikTok Shop, right? So they're taking advantage of this, viral video to sale, dynamic that's happening and kind of making a name for themselves and just in general, right? Got the halo effect on their .com and Amazon.
I mean, if they have the inventory to send out the samples at scale, that's what's going to work for them,
right?
And it goes back to when we talk about drop shipping, that's why drop shippers have a hard time scaling their business because they don't have the inventory, but brands do, and if you're got enough equity, you could probably do it with private label as well.
Another thing I want to say is the bigger brands are slow to move. They already have their priorities set for the year, and adding another new channel that they have to learn isn't high on their priority list. So it makes room for these small, agile guys to move around. Like a lot of our partners, a lot of our clients are those small, agile brands that, they want to make a dent in the space before the big guys come in. So that's kind of one side of it.
And that's what we've been preaching since the beginning, right? There's going to come a tipping point where these big brands are going to come in and they're going to have a lot of ad dollars to spend on TikTok Shop.
Saw it on Amazon for sure.
Yep.
So when I ask you a question of who is the number one hydration in the space that you've kind of seen?
Probably Liquid IV.
Okay, Liquid IV, right?
Yeah.
The number one hydration on, and you don't really know anyone else, right? It's kind of whatever. Yeah. But the number one right now is a brand called Nello, Nello, and they're absolutely killing it on TikTok Shop. I think 2.4 million of sales. So it's like a hydration that no one's ever heard of. I'm sure they're a brand in their own right, but this is, making a road for themselves. They're making a paved way for themselves. So yeah, that's just go to say there's a, big guy in the space. There's a big fish in the pond. You really use TikTok Shop to kind of make your waves in there. Nello is one that's doing it. Related, we mentioned this at the very beginning, but, private label. So creating your own product, right? So going from idea to manufacturing, branding, all the way to the sale of your product on TikTok Shop. So like we said before, we did this for our own product on Amazon. You know, we had some ideas of some categories we want to be in. We decided like men's toiletry was the one. We did some product research, some competitive research, like what's out there, how can we make our product better and design it better and, you know, higher quality. You know, like Pat was saying, it was a toiletry bag. Like what we did was we looked at all the reviews, the negative reviews, and kind of improved on them, right? So, you know, more compartments, dedicated compartments, you know, convertibility. Like, can we take, we could have taken one of the compartments off and, you know, put it back on for a more mobile look. And then just better material, right? Like all the ones out there at the time of when we were making our bag were like very simple, kind of like dad bags, if you will, right? Like the dads didn't care, like some kind of canvas thing, but we kind of integrated like a gray, heather gray, kind of like denim. I don't know. What do you
Yeah, it's like a canvas material.
Right. So we did all that homework, got it, you know, iterations of samples, got it in our, you know, got 1,000 pieces in our garage, shipped it off to Amazon and kind of rose the ranks that way. We're like, so listing optimization, paid ads, you know, SEO, images, etc. So, yeah, that was pretty successful. You know, we learned a lot, but also kind of like monetarily successful. And then, the ultimate goal there was just to teach Pat more about the Amazon space. And that's what happened, right?
Yep. And then, I mean, that's kind of what happened with TikTok Shop at the very beginning too. We were kind of dabbling in a lot of things like drop shipping and all that stuff. Private label, we haven't dabbled in as much because of the, you know, the capital requirement to buy all these samples. And then, yes, got into the consulting side, but yeah, that's definitely an avenue that people are going for TikTok Shop.
Yeah. And so like my nephew, he's a fresh grad and he's kind of learning. He's trying to figure out where he is in this world, right? And so I talked to him about TikTok Shop and he's just, his ears, you know, perked up, his eyes got wide open and he just couldn't stop asking me a question. And I got the idea. I was like, wait a minute. So I taught Pat how to make a product. Why don't I teach you how to make a private label product and we sell it on TikTok Shop, right? So we have 4 products in development, all kinds of categories, right? From kind of beauty to, you know, personal care, all the way to like feet or like kind of like athletic, orthopedic area. And yeah, we're just developing them, right? Same thing, taking a look at competition. How do we make ours look better? How do we make ours perform better? Implement that into the product and, you know, order a handful, try to sell on TikTok Shop, right? So yeah, it's kind of awesome. I don't know if people want to hear kind of that private label experience of how to make your own product and sell it on a TikTok Shop, but if you do, let me know, and I can talk about it a little bit more.
What are some challenges you think he's going to face as a person trying to do private label on TikTok Shop?
His current challenge is how to communicate to the manufacturing reps on Alibaba. As you know, they're from China and second language, and English is a second language. And he's just, you know, he's asking a question and they're asking 5 totally different questions. And so he's expressed to me, he's like, man, I'm super frustrated. Like, what's going on here? I'm like, yeah, just like ignore their other questions and ask the question again. So it does take a skill of how to talk to Alibaba, you know, reps. Which I'm teaching him, but yeah, that's the current one. I'm sure there'll be more, and you know, I'll bring it up as our podcasts continue. But that's the current frustration.
Cool. I'm sure. I mean, he's a smart kid. I'm sure he'll get through it and figure it out. But
yeah, it's cool. Like whenever I call him, he's super excited. You can hear the excitement in his voice, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, gives me a lowdown of what he did recently. He's like, "Oh yeah, so I ordered this, and you know, orders coming soon, or you know, we're doing like package design right now." And then I was like, well, you need to put yourself in the shoes of a customer. Like, what would they want to see? Or like, what's the competitors look like? How can we make it better? You know, looking at the images, right? So the image is the first thing you see. The package image is the first thing you see on like an Amazon listing or a TikTok Shop listing. Well, how do we make ours better and stick out, right? And so typically, or previous, you know, 10 years on, you would see a big brand name on there, right? Big brand name across the top. But like, for me, what I want to do is put a big keyword in the front, right? So if it's garlic press, put garlic press so they don't have to search for what it is. But like when you're searching and scrolling between other competitors, they have their brand name. You can't tell. But if it says like garlic press in big bold letters, well, that's a conversion rate kind of improvement or a click-through rate improvement that you can have.
Yep, it's true.
So yeah, we'll be sharing more about that as time goes on. But yeah, cool. Yeah, just a quick summary. That was 4 different ways of selling on TikTok Shop. I'm sure there's more, but those are the 4 main ones that either I've kind of have experience with or I've witnessed on TikTok Shop channel. So anyway, that concludes it for this week. Thanks for coming on, Pat. And yeah, don't forget to follow us on our socials for the latest news and strategies. Go to TikTokShopInsiders.com for a link to join our Slack group. Pretty awesome conversations going in there. A lot of kind of new questions, a lot of experienced people. So excited about that as it grows. And yeah, Pat, any last words for the pod?
No, man, just good luck in your trip and your travels. Hopefully,
thanks, man.
We'll get some good stories out of it too.
Yeah, I'll try to I'm thinking I should record a podcast abroad somewhere. So, keep in mind there. Maybe I'll have the Eiffel Tower in the background. But anyway, thanks for the well wishes. And until next time, dude. Thanks.
All right. See ya.
Bye, everyone.